This is the Blairing Out with Eric Blair show at the 3rd Annual Awards Gala and Ronnie James Dio This Is Your Life tribute album listening party. Produced by his longtime manager and wife, Wendy Dio, and benefiting the Ronnie James Dio Stand Up and Shout Cancer Fund. And I'm here with Lzzy and Arejay Hale of Halestorm.
Getting a call to do Straight Through the Heart.
We were just going to cover the song for our cover EP. Like, it wasn't even officially for this, you know, off the bat. So when we got the call to do this song, it was such a huge honor because we met Ronnie, and he was like the nicest, most humble dude ever, most incredible rock star, and inspired us to like say like, okay, if we're ever in that position, we need to be that cool, you know? But we'll never be that cool, but we need to be that like humble, you know? So you know, we just wanted to do the song, and now to be here, like, you know, for this benefit, you know, like I've had so much cancer affect my family. I lost 3 grandparents. My mother-in-law, her name's Jenny Kavetsky. She's a 10-year cancer survivor. So I'm wearing her shirt tonight, Team Jenny. So just everything on top of each other, like being surrounded by your people that you look up to, and having them consider you your peers, you know, and like how humble everybody is, because there's no egos. Like, everyone's super cool, and that's what's so cool about the rock and metal community, is that we're all supportive of each other. So everything stacked on top of each other, it just equals an incredible night. What
is it like being in a successful band with your sister?
Oh man, if I had $1 for every time I heard that. I've been making money in a weird way. You know what? Actually, it's great. It's awesome. Like, we've been doing it since I was 10 and she was 13. We've been doing it for, I'm going to say how old I am, about 16 years.
Since 1997, right?
Since 97, yeah. We've been doing it for that long, yeah. And it's great because, like, there's always, like, a family kind of vibe. And honestly, you know, for all the bands that I've toured with and everything I've experienced in this business, you know, when you're in a band, you have to be a family. Otherwise, you'll never survive being that close to each other all the time. We started out in vans and RVs, and now we're in a bus. So, like, you're always 2 feet from your bandmates. So it's honestly, it's a great vibe. You know, like, actually, our parents used to tour with us as well. My dad and my mom was our tour manager, and my dad was our bus driver, our RV driver. So you know, I think that vibe kind of rubbed off on our other bandmates, our crew, and everyone. So now that when we go on tour, it's like a big traveling, dysfunctional circus of a family. You know, it's crazy.
What was it like winning a Grammy Award and making history? Not just winning a Grammy Award, but making history with that Grammy.
You won a Grammy? What? Dude, like, I don't know how else to describe it. It was surreal.
It is.
It's crazy because, like, you start a band, and I grew up watching the Grammys on TV. You never expect to actually be there, you know, like, and then to actually win one, which we were so sure that we weren't going to win it. They called our name, and we're just like, are you kidding me? You know, it was crazy. You know, it was incredible. Though, like, I played in front of like hundreds of thousands of people in my life, but getting up on that stage and trying to talk in front of like those people that were there was the most nerve-wracking experience. I think I blacked out the whole time, you know? It was absolutely insane. It was incredible.
Lzzy Hale, you cover Straight Through the Heart, which there's a lot of meaning in that song. Do you get the meaning of that song, and what does it mean to you?
You know, to me, Straight Through the Heart, I mean, I've heard stories about what Ronnie wrote it about and everything, but to me, when I first heard the song, I've related it a lot to kind of our upward climb, and you know, you try not to keep your heart guarded, but you do, man. I mean, it's a crazy decision, you know, to decide when you're in middle school to be a musician and then kind of put yourself out there, you know. And I remember the first couple times of us really like catching the backlash of like, hey, we are just ourselves. Really? That's weird, you know. And why are you doing that? But I don't know. It's also one of the first songs that we heard by Ronnie James Dio, Holy Diver, the album. Our dad introduced it to us like what, like 89, something like that, you know. We were but mere pups, you know. And
that's the stuck kind of stuff we listened to growing up was our parents' music, so it fit in there, you know.
Well, hell, your dad played bass in your band for a while.
Oh,
right?
You know about that.
I know. No. Poor Dad. We had to kick him out of the band, and then we're like, it's okay, Dad. You can run sound. Horrible sound, man.
And apparently he's
tone deaf. And we're like, okay, so yeah, tone deaf. So okay, Dad, is that you can't run sound anymore, but you can drive the van. Horrible driver. Horrible driver. So now he's just Dad, and we haven't fired him from that yet. So you're doing good.
What brings you the most peace in your life right now?
Oh man, the most peace piece of my life, you know, not to sound completely cheesy, but I am anyway. The guys in my bands, man, we've been a foursome for, it's going on 11 years now, and we've had, you know, a lot of ups and downs together, and you know, little bro over here has been so loyal in every stupid, crazy scheme that I've ever drug him along in, and I'm telling you, just having that type of backing and rock.
I think you're the more patient one for dealing with me all the time. I'm the crazy one.
Oh, patience for days, bro.
There you go. But it's
you threw me through the ringer. Yeah.
It's true, like what I was saying earlier. Having an official family in the band makes everything seem like a family. So when you're that close to everybody, when you're 2 feet from everyone, it kind of helps you keep a peace of mind, you know.
Are you spiritual people?
I guess in
the spirit of rock.
Yeah, in a roundabout way. You know, it's funny because I feel like Joe Walsh from the Eagles said it best. He's like, you know, as you're in it and you're living your life, and you know, everything seems like it's just chaos. You're just throwing shit at the wall, and it's like hoping something sticks and something catches on. And then you look back on it, and it seems like a finely crafted novel. Like all the stars aligned somehow, because it could have gone so easily the other way. So I mean, you know, obviously, I think that there's a rock and roll heaven, because obviously Ronnie is up there teaching the angels how to sing. Also, there's a rock and roll hell, which means
you know what that is?
Yeah.
What is it?
You don't know?
No, you tell me.
I think we've lived that hell.
Tell them what the rock and roll hell is. I love this theory.
I believe there's a rock and roll hell, and you are in a tour bus driving like through Texas, no rest stops, nothing, and all there is to eat is stale tortilla chips and like ketchup-y salsa. I know.
Basically, you're driving to a show that doesn't exist.
Yes.
And you're driving forever.
How does that happen to a rock star, a Grammy-winning rock star?
You know, sometimes you break down in the desert, man.
It happens to everybody. Everybody. We were on tour with Evan. It's a funny story. We were on tour with Evanescence, and we were opening up for them, but their bus broke down, so we had to pile their whole band and crew into our bus, like 30 people on one bus, to get to the next gig. So it happens to everyone.
Rock love.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
For the love of rock.
Are you guys prepared to rock?
Oh, of course, man. We're anxious because there's a double whammy in this. Not only are we playing for this and so stoked to be here, but this is our first gig since December 15th, because we've been off writing for the next record. So it's like the tempos might be a little faster tonight because we're just so excited to get on stage.
You have one of the most powerful, incredible voices I've ever heard. How do you take care of it?
I have a gaggle of awesome 80s rocker dudes that I have surrounding me, such as Tommy Kiefer, and Steve Whiteman from Kix was actually my vocal coach when I was 17. And so yeah, still holding true to the 80s, man. They knew what was up. I
think Dio was a good teacher for you as well, right?
Well, I'm telling you, man, it's like he just had it. I think he went out there with a beer and freaking rocked everyone's socks off. Well into his 60s.
He just liked his fast sale.
You guys actually toured with Heaven and Hell.
We did one show with them.
Okay, so what was that experience like?
Well, it was kind of a fluke accident because we were on our way home from a tour, and got the call saying that Coheed and Cambria, the opening tour for Heaven and Hell, dropped out of the last date. And so we were headed to Pennsylvania. They were playing in New Jersey. So long story short, we got to open up for Heaven and Hell, and just what an amazing thing to be able to play for your idol, but also end up getting to know him. And he's one of the most amazing men, not just because of his musicianship, but as a person. He was like Uncle Ronnie, man, and signed everything for everybody till like 3 a.m. and still came back to our vehicle to make sure that he knew that he was saying goodbye to us, and what a great time that he had. And it's like, dude, we would totally understand, everyone would, if you just want to like go home and rest. And he said, he looks at me, he's like, Lzzy, it's a moment in time. You will never remember these people's faces or the venues you played, but they will remember meeting you for the rest of their life. So you make it good for everyone. So it's like such little life lessons like that went on the whole night. I'm like, oh.
He really was Uncle Ronnie, because you want to know what he did to me? This is what he did to me. He's like, hey, good show. He gave me a pat on the cheek, and I'm just like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, Ronnie James Dio just patted me on the cheek.
Oh, my God, what are you going to do next? I'm going to Disney World.
Disneyland, yeah. Well, hey, I love you.
Thank you so much.
You rock. You rock. You guys got a great attitude.
The Blair Meister.
That's right.
Hey, you better hold me to this. I will do a sit down with Eric Blair. It's happening. History will be made. He's going to sit me down and he's going to ask me the hard questions, and I'm going to dish some stuff out. I might ask him a few questions too, so it's coming.
All right, God bless you, Lzzy Hale. Have a good night.
Hey, thanks for having
You're
me.
awesome.
The Blairing Out Show.